It is week number 38 of me trying to make $1 million in 5 years. I am still very much in debt. It takes time. And today I'm gonna try and change things. I wanna make these videos like exciting and engaging, and so I'm gonna try and do that. Come along with me while I brainstorm and try and figure out why I'm trying to make $1 million. I'm heading to the track to do a time trial for the 400 meter, and I'm still ruminating over that question of why I'm trying to make $1 million. One of the reasons for sure is like having that goal has been helpful. If I can like hone in and have a vision for like one thing, it kind of like narrows my perception and honestly makes the task of continuing life more manageable. So that's at least part of it. After I just totally kill myself on this 400, we'll see epiphanies come to me as why I am doing this $1 million goal. I'm not checking the time yet, but it felt good. I don't have any answers, no epiphanies. It's suffering to run. Maybe it's a metaphor for this life, right? But it's so beautiful too. I felt so good lying on the ground. Like, I felt like sick, but also like my body felt alive, you know? And I'm gonna be faster for it and stronger. And having this goal to shoot at helps me. But I will say that I don't think it's all like, how do you name it? Like, the motives that are driving me might not all be healthy per se, but in the end it is, I think, because it's a journey, it's a process, it's an unraveling. And so what I'm taking away is how I'm changing. You know, I have had experienced where I felt like I needed to be successful, to be loved, to be cared about, as if that was some deep interior motive that was just like, I didn't notice it like consciously, but beneath the surface that was like a reason. I wanted to be successful so that I could be loved. And I'm living in a tent now. And then I also, I've also had to like force myself to keep going in times like I've told myself like that I'm gonna make it to 30 years old at least before I question whether or not I want to end this life. And I promised myself that I was going to make it till 30 years old when I was like 25, because I was always wanting to kill myself. And right now those feelings and thoughts are coming back. These past couple of weeks I've been slowing down and feeling, again, in a good sort of way, I don't want this to sound morbid or something, but I've been feeling like lonely. But I think it's because I'm starting to be able to feel more of these feelings that I've suppressed and gone through like childish, naive sort of ways of getting the things that I want. Like, I wanted to go to the Olympics. I still want $1 million. But it's like this pursuit of getting things that I want through a means in which it's impossible to get, right? Even if you're infinitely successful, that doesn't mean that you're going to be loved. Well, I'm feeling really positive. Okay, that's a long ramble. This might be a long session. Said I wanted to make these videos better. And so one small step towards doing that is getting better audio. So I'm going to the store right now to see if I can buy some mics. The next time you hear me, I'll be sounding clearer. New audio is on. And by the way, I ran a 55-65, if anyone's wondering. Not what I wanted to run, but that's okay. And yeah, back to this idea of like what I'm doing this for. Just questioning life, being like existential about it. I think existential sort of has negative connotations, so not necessarily existential, but like, what am I doing everything for? We're just going to keep asking questions. feeling optimistic. I want to make the videos more exciting. So what if I just add more angles? That'll make it more fun, make it more interactive. But while I'm doing it, I even like wonder, just like, am I doing it as a distraction? I wonder that about a lot of things. And for a lot of people too, but obviously the narrative or the story of this life is my life. So I'm just like, it'd probably be better if I was out there hanging out with people and stuff. So I think I should put in a stronger intention to do that. Geez, I'm just really feeling all sorts of, you know what, take that part out. Or I'm gonna leave it in there, but like, let me show you some things I'm working on, and then we'll get into the finances. And I think something that I wanna add is, I think I wanna add like a montage or something for the introduction of the video, kind of to capture viewers. Like, I feel like my life is interesting enough, it has enough content to like make a good YouTube channel, to potentially make money on it, to potentially help me reach this $1 million goal. So I want to make a montage, but you know what? I think we're pretty far deep in the amount of time that's already got into this. So I'm going to jump into my content of where my finances are at, what I'm doing to make more money, and then some really cool bonus content that I think the biggest driver of helping me to make this $1 million. So stay tuned. All right, my finances. I am, for the first time in at least 6 weeks, net positive in my finances. So I have $530 total. This week though, I'm doing weekly finances. I was actually I spent $160 more than I made, which is an issue. And that was the last 2 weeks. I actually spent more money than I made. And the reason that I'm coming into the positives is largely because of a side job that I have, coaching, which paid me like around $1,000 a while ago, which really helped. And then I got a tax return. I thought I was gonna have to pay taxes, but because I'm so poor and my business lost so much money, they actually gave me like $2,300. So that's where my finances are right now. For work, I've been doing a lot of different things. I'm still working 30-ish hours a week or 32 hours-ish a week for a guy doing construction stuff. I pushed my contractor's license aside for the time being because I just applied for it and I stupidly didn't have the right paperwork signed. So that's a whole thing that I gotta work on. I've worked on rattles this week. I am making pretty sweet baby rattles. Here you can see some. And I ran a test on a new jig that I created. It didn't work. The lathe kind of stopped working. It's a huge machine that I'm dealing with and I have so much stuff. So what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna try and sell this lathe and get a new one because I do want to continue with the rattles, but same thing with the contractor's license. Like, I need to stay consistent and persistent, but after a certain amount of like failures or setbacks, it does get tough. So I'm giving myself a little break from there. And right now, something that is really super capturing my attention, which is kind of how I roll sometimes, which I might need to work on, but I'm really intrigued and excited about new things, and that is speakers. So what you see right here is just like a 2-hour build, and that is not what the speakers are gonna look like. I have a really cool concept to create a like a really organic looking sort of speaker. I'll show you a few pictures of what it could potentially look like. But this was kind of to try and help me conceptualize. I don't do a lot of like 3D drawing. I do a bunch of doodles, but I wanna try and see how they're gonna sit and how it's gonna operate. So got the amp. which isn't part of the speaker. But then we're gonna have downward facing. We're gonna have downward facing like subwoofer, and then the left and right are actually gonna be attached. Oh shit! Part of it just fell off. But they're gonna be about in that orientation. But I want to create. I think they call it horns in the speaker world, so they're like extruding outward. But yeah, that's the idea. That's the concept. And something that I'm thinking of and learning about lately is kind of the same concept or idea that I had with the speakers. I want to try and get the money before doing the thing. And with the speakers, I'm just having materials covered. It already looks like I might run over a little bit, but yeah, it feels nice to not feel so much financial tension. Like the money is there for me to build them now. Next thing is bonus content, and this is exciting. I think that this is what's really going to give me the guidance, drive, the help I need to make this million. My idea of like, why am I making this $1 million? It's not just so I can buy like a sports car and a penthouse. That would be cool. I wouldn't mind having that, but I want to live a good life. I want to give back. I want to create a family, all of these cool things. Anyways, whatever. Like my idea is get like, if I make this $1 million in 5 years, which it's going to happen. I keep saying that. It's going to happen. But if I do that, then like to get guidance from God or whatever, I'm going to donate 50% of it. So I already decided I'm going to give $100K to someone who does like documentaries, but then I have to figure out 400 more K. And then, yeah, somehow, I don't know, donating it to a good cause, and who knows, maybe that will help my cause. So that's it for the bonus content. This is a longish video. Hope you guys liked it. Like and subscribe, follow me. I'd love some feedback if anyone has thoughts on specifically like how to make the video more engaging. I do like video editing, but of course that also takes longer, but whatever. Peace and love. Peace and love.